mainstream media's persistent emphasis on global warming has sparked intense debate and skepticism among the public. On the surface, it appears that their intention is to raise awareness about the pressing issue and encourage individuals to adopt environmentally friendly habits. However, upon closer examination, it becomes clear that there are more sinister motives at play. The mainstream media's propaganda campaign is designed to control the narrative, manipulate public opinion, and ultimately influence our behavior. One of the primary reasons the mainstream media is invested in promoting the global warming agenda is to perpetuate a sense of fear and anxiety among the population. By constantly inundating us with dire predictions and catastrophic scenarios, they create a climate of panic, which in turn allows them to shape public opinion and dictate the terms of the discussion. This fear-mongering tactic is highly effective in manipulating people's emotions, making them more susceptible to the media's message and more likely to accept the proposed solutions without critically evaluating the evidence. Another significant factor driving the mainstream media's global warming propaganda is the economic interests of their corporate sponsors. Many of the companies that advertise with these media outlets have a vested interest in the green energy sector, and the promotion of global warming hysteria helps to create a lucrative market for their products and services. By exaggerating the severity of the problem, the media creates a sense of urgency, which in turn drives demand for renewable energy sources, carbon credits, and other eco-friendly technologies. This not only generates enormous profits for these companies, but also allows them to reap the benefits of government subsidies and tax incentives. The mainstream media's control of the global warming narrative also enables them to shape the public's perception of the role of government in addressing this issue. By portraying the problem as an existential threat, they create a sense of crisis which allows governments to justify the implementation of draconian measures such as carbon taxes, stricter regulations, and increased surveillance. This, in turn, expands the power of the state, eroding individual freedoms and liberties. The media's complicity in this process is evident in their failure to critically examine the evidence and their reluctance to give a platform to dissenting voices. Moreover, the global warming propaganda campaign has become a useful tool for the mainstream media to further their ideological agenda. By framing the issue as a moral imperative, they are able to impose their own values and worldview on the public, creating a sense of moral obligation to conform to their perspective. This tactic is particularly effective in silencing opposing viewpoints, as anyone who questions the media's narrative is labeled a denier or a skeptic, and is subsequently marginalized and ostracized. This kind of ideological manipulation serves to reinforce the media's control over the narrative, making it increasingly difficult for alternative perspectives to gain traction. In conclusion, the mainstream media's relentless promotion of global warming propaganda is driven by a complex array of motivations, including the desire to manipulate public opinion, serve the economic interests of their corporate sponsors, and advance their ideological agenda. By creating a climate of fear and anxiety, they are able to control the narrative, shape the public's perception of the issue, and dictate the turns of the discussion. It is essential that we remain vigilant and critically evaluate the information presented to us, recognizing the ways in which the mainstream media seeks to manipulate and control us through their global warming propaganda. By doing so, we can break free from the media's grasp and engage in a more nuanced and informed discussion about the complex issues surrounding climate change.